welcome to the podcast, Winning Big in Asia. And today we have Ms. Sheila Berman, and she's the Deputy Director of the Keynote Women Speakers Directory here in Singapore. And I heard that you've just expanded globally.
Hi, yes, Patrick, we have. We've actually now launched in North America.
Okay.
And there's another plan of expanding further.
Other than North America. Okay, I'll ask you more about that in a moment. But please, Sheila, would you like to say hello and give an introduction of yourself?
Oh, hi. Hi there to everybody. So my name is Sheila Berman. I am the Deputy Director for Marketing for the Keynote Women Speakers Directory. And it's a not-for-profit organization where we are bent on promoting diversity on the speaking stages around the world. It started in Singapore in December 2017, and now we're expanding globally, as Patrick mentioned.
Okay. And Sheila, can I just understand what is your role and how do you actually work and what tools do you use?
So when I joined Keynote in December, I was actually already here in Singapore for a few months, and I looked at it and said, okay, what does it need? And the first thing that I realized is you need to have visibility. And for you to be visible, everything now is digital. So the first thing is, how do you get people known? Now, Keynote is part of the larger Primetime Business and Professional Women's Association. We already have a ready market. It has an existing Facebook, and it has an existing LinkedIn page. Looking at that and looking at what's available in the market, I just said, start working on Facebook because you already have a captured audience. Start engaging there, then start going onto the LinkedIn page. So these are two platforms where we found that our members are, because they're professional women, they engage in social media on Facebook, but then when it comes to professional interaction, they go on LinkedIn, which is the same pretty much in any industry. You want social interaction, you go Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, but when you need a professional interaction, you go to LinkedIn. And so from there, I started thinking, okay, what can we use? So I'm self-taught, although I did study some of the tools that are used, and that is Photoshop, for example. And then I taught myself how to do editing. So
video editing.
Video editing. I started with my Mac because it had a video maker, and then I went to PC, how to create videos. And then from there, I started going Adobe, and then I started going to the Cyberlink director, because once you start learning little bits, you want to do more, and that's what I found. And you can see that in all of my video editing and all the clips that I've done. So they were a bit cringy in the beginning, but then it started getting better and better and better. And then I started looking at the numbers behind. Are people watching it? Surprisingly, they were. They were watching it. So from there, I started looking at, okay, so I can use Photoshop for the images, then started using Cyberlink for the videos.
Okay. Let me just stop you there.
Okay.
Just a reminder, maybe you let everyone know what Keynote Women Speakers Directory is, and you are a non-profit.
Yes, 100% non-profit. We are mission-driven. We are volunteer-based. None of us is getting paid. So this is from the heart. Whatever we're doing is from the heart. And what we found, the history of Keynote is that we were established because here in Singapore, we do a lot of conferences and we see a lot of conferences. I think this is the #1 conference destination in Asia. When we look at all of the lineups of speakers, they're usually male-dominated. Reality is that when people start thinking of speakers, they think of men. And when you ask the organizers, because I was an organizer before as well, one of the reasons they say is, oh, we can't find women speakers. And you start thinking, really? In marketing, you can't find women. In HR, you can't find women. So then Primetime decided, well, we have all of these women, and some of us have the industry expertise. Why can't we have a directory? And that's why Keynote was launched, to make it easier for organizers to pick and select women speakers from various industries. So we now have speakers from the legal background, from the health and wellness, marketing, what else? Technology. So there is really no reason now for organizers to say, we can't find women speakers. We're here.
They just have to find you.
They don't even have to find us because we're pretty much everywhere.
Okay.
We're a very networked group of women.
So it sounds like you've been you had the role for a very short time. And could you share with us, did anything didn't go as planned or didn't go as well? And what happened?
In Keynote, I believe it was probably at the start because we were so excited. We were so excited to just have this directory, and we can see engagement happening. Lots of people saying, yes, we like it, we like it, we like it. But then when we looked at the conversion, are we getting people really? Are we attracting the right audience? And this is pretty similar to what you see now, where everybody goes, we have 10,000 likes. We had people sharing, but they're not the audience that you wanted to attract. So then we had to start thinking deeper and go, okay, go back to basics of marketing. Who are your audience? Who are our audience? The MICE organizers, the corporate directors in charge of events. So in the beginning, we had lots of likes, but not really a lot of conversion.
Okay.
That's a learning lesson for us to start going back and say, okay,
So
from the excitement,
high engagement, low conversion.
low conversion. So now focus.
Interesting. And what came next? Okay. So did you also have any stories of success you'd like
Oh,
to share
yes.
with us?
And so then we started thinking, okay, what do we need to do right now? So amongst our group, we have our supporters, but these are already easily won people because they believe in what we're doing, but they're not the ones that we wanted to get business from. So we said first, okay, when I started going in, I said, okay, one, we still need to make sure that we are out there. People need to be aware of what we are doing. And second, we need more women who are more engaged. Because, as in any organization, your employees, or here, our members, are our biggest ambassadors.
Yes.
We haven't tapped into their network. So it became more of a cohesive approach to say, okay, we need to start talking about who are our speakers, start tagging them, start promoting them in media. So we managed to launch in North America because people started hearing about us, and they said, we want to be part of the directory. And then we had to revamp the website as well, and we started getting more inquiries coming in. So these are now inbound. So these are organic people coming in and saying, we need speakers. Can you provide speakers who can talk about technology, who can talk about leadership? So then we started going SEO, make sure that the science and the technology behind it, that we can be found. So a lot of changing, a lot of refocusing, but we're getting there. So slowly, and it's a long-term view. It's not just a quick win.
That's a wonderful, wonderful share. I
Yes.
really appreciate that. And I'd love to find out more as we go into a deeper conversation. But before we go, could you share with us again, how do marketers, how do business owners, how do people even from non-profits, how can they win big in Asia? What's the one thing they have to do?
Go back to basic, know your customer. And first and foremost, when you think of Asia, don't think of Asia as one homogeneous entity. It's not. Each country will have its own different culture, and you need to understand the culture, meaning where do they talk, where do they spend their time, how do they engage with people. When you're in e-commerce, how do they buy? All those things you need to understand. You don't just think of Asia and go, oh yes, Asia, Singapore is a representative of Asia. Whatever happens in Singapore or whatever happens in China can be applicable. No, go back to basics.
Okay, that's most appreciated, and I think very, very wisely and timely advice. Okay, so until we see you at the Asia Marketing Summit, we're signing off. Okay, so
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sheila, for joining us today. And here's Winning Big in Asia, and I'll see you at Asia Marketing Summit.